Right guys, hello and welcome back to SimpleRockets 2, our colonization series where we are making cool things and colonizing the solar system. It's kind of a roleplay series if you're new to this. Go check out the last episode and you'll see us putting communication relay. Now, if you haven't already, do please subscribe because YouTube still tells us that everyone that watches these videos is not subscribed. Anyway, onto the mission at hand. Now, I've designed kind of like a two-stage rocket where, a bit like SpaceX's BFR or Starship, which just has one reusable booster and the cargo bay at the top, which this is capable of taking over very heavy cargo. This is going to be the first stage. I didn't even clarify what I'm doing. This is going to be the first stage of our space station, because all good colonization, you need a space station. It's just a stopping point. So this is just a fuel module in here, and it is a pretty heavy payload for this rocket. So the beginning of the launch was very slow, as you've seen, because this is very it's a very capable launcher, but under the weight that I've got in this cargo bay, it did struggle a little bit. But anyway, I'm not going to reuse the first stage because with SimpleRockets 2 being so weird about quick saves and things, I decided to just, for these test missions, I'm just going to ditch the first stage and pretend that we recovered it. I mean, I've got a lot of launches to do in this one video, so that's why I kind of just forgot about the first stage. But I do land all second stages back on the planet. I was just getting a quick screenshot there, as you can see. So the footage is sped up because otherwise this would be a 3-hour long video, because like I say, there was 3 launches in this video. So I just skipped night time there into the daylight so you can actually see this thing coming out of the cargo bay, which is pretty cool. And there we go, it's like a bird opening its wings. Now, it does look small, but it has a lot of fuel in, so it's very heavy, and I forgot a couple of RCS ports, so it kind of doesn't translate very well. But this is just the core module. This is just going to be the first thing that, we've put in place. So yeah, this is me just trying to wiggle it out, because I forgot I've got no RCS ports on the top and bottom of either the second stage of this launcher or the actual fuel module. So that's me just trying to wiggle it out. And then I give up because RCS was taking too long, so you'll see in a second. I just cheat. Because when you're stuck in a sticky situation where you can't get something out, the best thing for it? Not try and use the reticle to move it around, just, give it the old time warpy, and there we go, just meshes through. But we'll just pretend that didn't happen. So yeah, this is our first module. We're just going to focus on the middle tank, just because it was off to the side, because it was focusing on the heaviest part of the rocket module. Because I didn't really make it that symmetrical. I just made it the way I thought would look cool, like 2 fuel tanks, and then I'm going to add to this in this video. So yeah, that's the first module. That's the easiest one. I've put these lights on, but you'll see later in the video what the issue was with putting them lights on, and I'm really annoyed that I didn't realise this earlier. But anyway, onto the second stage. Now we're going to start landing this. So we're just going to pick where we're at, land, there we go, and burn. Goodbye station. There's no one on it. the moment. I know you can't actually get people in this game, but you know, we're pretending there's no one on it yet. Because it has no life support, it has no, you know, solar panels, it's just the bare bones. It's just a fuel tank at the minute with a lot of docking ports on it, ready to transfer fuel. So you see I've got these little fin things at the top. I thought this would be pretty cool design to just have these almost grid fins like SpaceX, but like helicopter rotors. Like obviously I don't want them to rotate, I just want them to act as drag, but I thought it would be a cool design with the shape of this second stage to have them where they fold out and they're kind of like, you know, claws. It's almost like a claw going through the atmosphere. I thought that might help with aerodynamics and stuff, but you know, I'm no aeronautical engineer. I'm just guessing, and I thought it looked pretty cool, so I stuck with it. And I've finally managed to get re-entry heat effects to come back into the game, because for some reason the graphics settings, there's two options you've got to enable to get these effects to show up. I don't know why they were off. I don't know, it was since an update they kind of turned themselves off for some reason. But yeah, I didn't actually realise at the time when I did the retrograde burn that how close I was to the Space Centre. So then, once I noticed that, I was like, right, we've got to aim for it, we've got to try and get there. As you can see, we start spinning. The best way to counteract the spinning is just to fire the engines. I mean, we've got plenty of fuel in the second stage. Kind of. Ish. But yeah, and then I realised at this point, I was like, no, there's no way we're going to hit the launch pad again, so we may as well just go for a landing here. So coming down steady, switching that above ground level instead of just to sea level altitude, because, you know, it lies. You know, you've always got to have it above ground level if you're going to do like some sort of suicide burn, which I assumed we would need to do here. Boy, was I right. So I wish I could have made these landing legs a little bit bigger, but obviously that is the max size that can go, because this is a 6 metre tank. That is how big this rocket is. It is actually 6 metres radius, so that is madness. So I'm getting further down and I realise, oh, I start panicking, adding the thrust. I really panicked right in the last second. Kind of. It was a successful suicide burn, but I hopped it, and it was at this point I thought, yeah, this isn't going to survive. Yeah. Nope. And that was it. The whole thing gone. Not even anything to spare. But anyway, we're going to go in here and use a newly discovered feature. I didn't realise you could rename crafts from this menu here in the map view, which is pretty cool, so I'm just going ahead and doing that. My probe wasn't named from the last video, so I quickly did that. Switch to the station, which we're calling STRATA 1, as in like stratosphere, but just decided STRATA 1. It was just kind of a last minute thing. Also, I haven't named my launch vehicle, so if you guys want to comment some suggestions for the name of the launch vehicle, that would be really awesome, and I'll enjoy reading them suggestions. Right, so there we go. This is the first stage, nicely in a circular orbit. So here we go for the next rocket, and this is a slightly less weight in this module. module, transport vehicle, because it is just a huge cargo container, which is awesome. I've never actually built a successful one of these, and so I was very happy when this actually worked. So we're just setting our maneuver node here to get into an orbit. Just setting it, and then I raise it higher, and actually it works in my favour because I get an encounter straight on the next orbit. So I thought, yeah, we'll just go straight for that. Ooh, sorry. I'm still not very well, so I do apologise for my voice in these videos. So here we go, just doing our bit. And you can see we're nice relay probes around the planet. Not in a very good position. I really need to change them, fix their orbits, but I didn't really leave much fuel in them. So I think we might have to deal relaunch them. I was going to try something pretty cool. I was going to try and catch one of the probes in one of these unnamed launches, catch it in the cargo bay and then burn with it. But I sharply realised that time warp is just going to make it fly out. So I wouldn't be able to time warp round to the point where I need to burn again. So that whole plan just won't work. But there we go. Nice little close encounter of the third kind, maybe. Like if you've watched that film. It was a good film. Old, but good. Anyway, there we go. Got a nice close encounter. We just did another little maneuver there just to get a bit closer. Because remember, this is a huge rocket and it's not very manoeuvrable. I need to put more RCS thrusters on this, just so it's easier. And there we go, we're just going to warp you around. We've set our velocity to target there, so we can see. So our prograde and retrograde markers become relative to the target. That is how that works. So it's a handy little feature. So here we come on our approach. Just going to slow that speed off now. Get rid of all that target, all that prograde velocity. I'm not very technical with these words. Trying to get this down as close to zero, so we've wiped off all our speed. There we go, and then we're just going to set it to the target. Time warp to turn it because I don't have the patience to wait. Thrust up to around 50 meters per second. It's usually good. Then hit retrograde again, and scarily warp just to turn around. Hoping not to smack into the thing. And it's good that this is on the daylight. I'm very happy that this dock was on the day side. Because as you'll see in the later video, the next launch, not as well planned. Let's put it that way. So remember, if you haven't subscribed, I do these videos pretty often. Just random SimpleRockets 2, Kerbal Space Program and other spacey games. So if you're interested, do leave a like and subscribe. Right, here we go, cancel out our velocity again. And then I think we can just drift over with RCS. I think we're probably close enough. So let's open the cargo bay and reveal the habitation module. Right, here we go, trying to click this tiny docking port, which I wish I could make bigger, but there's not a real option without using the tinker panel, and I don't like using the tinker panel. I feel like it's cheating. I don't think I've ever used it. Never ever once used it. That's crazy, isn't it? Is that bad? It's kind of the cheat panel I see it as. So there we go, we're just going to lock our heading so it doesn't rotate around every which way, because our RCS ports aren't perfectly symmetrical. Right, and then we're just going to speed up this footage because it is monotonous. So we're just focus on the target there, and we're in chase cam, so we know which way is up, down, left and right, forward and backwards, which is easier. And make sure we're in translation mode. And then I'm just setting the lock on the heading, so we literally just go up, down, left and right in relation to the station module. And I'm just trying to click on a docking port there, so I just selected one on the side because I thought, why not go on the side? No point in making a massive train, might as well go for one of the side ones. So now that we're close, I'm hitting the target marker because we can line up with that docking port perfectly. So that is a lot better. Just slowly does it. Remember, this is 4 times speed, so you can imagine how slow this was actually going. And now this is real speed, so you can see how slow we're going in. And kiss. And then that's just watching the glitchy docking percentage go up and down, hoping that it gets to 100%. Nearly. Steady. Come on. Slowly does it. Hands off the keyboard at this point, because just any messing with it, just throw it off. And there we go, there's a dock. Finally. And there's our new station, kind of. So I also realised at this point I had messed up. Now, I tried turning on the lights and I was thinking, why they're not shining? So I thought, we'll go into the night side and see them shining. And then I realised the paint scheme is emitting light. And I didn't realise what that setting was. I thought it was more of just a reflective surface, but it turns out it's not. It is how much light each part emits, each colour emits. So yeah, I might replace them modules because they don't look very realistic, being all shiny and cartoony. So I don't know. Anyway, we're going to land this second stage again, trying to get close to the launch site. And it's becoming sunset, so this is quite a nice little approach, getting into the sunset here. I actually thought I was landing into a desert, and I was thinking, this doesn't look like the right location. This doesn't look like the launch site. But it turns out it actually is. It's just sunset. So it's all very foggy. Would you say foggy? So there's the launch pad there, and we are not far at all. So I thought I did pretty well there. And again, I started to panic on the launch, and everything messed up. But at least we saved the valuable parts, which is the engines. So on this third launch, I'm just going to 4 times speed this again. I turned the paint scheme down, the emission scheme down, so it doesn't shine itself. But I also forgot to do it on the gold paint scheme, so now the gold stands out like a sore thumb, while the rest looks like a realistic rocket. Oh, I wish I'd discovered this. I wish I'd realised that about the paint a lot sooner. I mean, I've been playing this game for a long time now, and I didn't even realise what that was doing to the paint. And I think it looks so much better dark, the way it is, where only light, you know, reflects off it. If you know what I mean. I'm just rambling a little bit, and I thought that was an amazing shot, seeing the sunset there. As we're thrusting away, we didn't time warp around to the to a good point where the station was above us, because I thought a sunset launch would be pretty awesome, and it was very spectacular. But anyway, doing a few orbits there, and we get a close encounter. So I'm just tweaking a maneuver node to try and get it a bit closer, because it was 24 kilometers and I wanted it closer, so we managed to get a 5 kilometers there. So just warp into that maneuver, and there we go. Set our target relevant to target again, and slowing our speed. You know the drill, you've seen 2 of them already in this episode. So I decided to just, you know, speed all this up, because you don't need to see it so many times. It's the same launch vehicle. You don't want to watch it 3 times in real time. So here we go, getting really close to the station now. And there we go, open the cargo bay to reveal what this module is. This one is our solar array. This was a lot lighter of a module, but still a little bit heavy, because, you know, we packed in some monopropellant, and it has got a little bit of fuel. I didn't realise it had. I wish I'd took it out, but it does have fuel in it still as well. So this has some huge solar arrays, and the nice paint scheme, which I wish I'd set on the original parts. Now I don't know if I can edit that in the edit files, in the save files, to edit the paint scheme on already saved ships. Somebody let us know in the comments if that's at all possible, because that would be great if I could change them without having to relaunch these parts. Because I really don't like this cartoony emitting light stuff. It really ruins the realistic vibe of SimpleRockets 2. I can't believe I've only just realised it. So here we go. This one was a bit trickier to get, because obviously being on the dark side of the planet, couldn't really see the orientation very well, so I was just to and fro and getting a bit frustrated with it, hoping that would click into place. And finally, with a bit of tweaking and looking around the ports, seeing where they match, there we go. There's a docking sound that we wanted. And there's our station with its handlebar. Yeah, it actually looks like a handlebar, so I didn't realise when I was planning it, so don't diss, guys. Just turning off the RCS so it doesn't mess up the station, because I know they're a bit glitchy in this game. And I'm surprised how close we've got our launcher there. As you can see it in the background, that glowing orange. There's our docking second stage, our cargo second stage. So we're just time warping through to the daytime to get some nice shots of the station here. And it is looking pretty cool. I have to admit, this is the biggest station I've made in SimpleRockets 2, just because it was so glitchy in the past. I don't know how big I'm going to expand this, because I don't want it to just flip out and be all glitchy. But it is pretty cool. And this is going to be a stopping point for some future missions. And also we need to make a rocket for resupply and supplying crew to the station. Because at the minute there's no crew, quotation marks, in the station. So we need to get them up there. And look at that, I'm trying to get these beacons to work, but I made a boob. I didn't realise power doesn't transfer through docking ports. So this module has no power, even though it has solar arrays. It has no battery power. And the other modules won't transfer battery power. So them beacons will never light up. But we'll pretend the station has full power. Because I don't know why it doesn't transfer through ports. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I know you guys will let us know if I am. But that is pretty cool. And there we go. We're going to switch to our Eagle. That's what it should be called, this large vehicle. The Eagle. I mean, it's got a claw on the top, and it's gold, and it unfolds like wings. So yeah, not bad. I decided why not go for a third time at the space station, space center. So I'm just going to warp around the planet until it becomes daytime, because I don't want to land on the night time, because it's no fun for you guys to watch that. And there we go, it's just coming into the daytime. I can tell because I've left that little debris marker down there just to let us know where the space center is at all times. And I can look a bit crazy on the burn. So I'm like, oh no, I've got to go forward a little bit, otherwise I'm going to end up in the sea. Burn a bit prograde just to heighten that descent. And then I realised I was still way off the mark and started panicking whether I was going to end up in the sea, which wouldn't be such a bad thing. I mean, it's probably got more chance of surviving this thing. But there is no going back now, we're already in the atmosphere, so that was it. And we're just changing it back, our station's name back, because every time we dock a module, the name changes back to Craft 5, 6, 7, whichever. So we've got to change it every time we dock a new module, which is a bit of a pain and annoying. So yeah, here we go, coming into the atmosphere thick and fast. And I was thinking, oh no, we're definitely not going to hit the space center. I was thinking, oh, we're going to have to stop burning because we're going to flip. And then I was thinking, oh no, we're going to hit the sea. Thankfully, we keep it from burning up. It doesn't seem to burn up. I'm surprised with how fast we're coming in that it doesn't burn up. At least the engines. But there we go, coming in nice and hot. Just got to pretend this is all a heat shield. Well, heat equipped rocket. And it is reusable because we've used it 3 times in one episode. Not very realistic, but you know. And here we go, coming down. At least we're not over the sea this time. This time? I mean, we weren't last time, but at least we're not over the sea. And things start going a little weird. As you can see, I'm very angled, and this is apparently our retrograde angle. So I was a bit confused. I looked at the wheel there, the navigation wheel, and I was thinking, that's not right. That is really not right, and we're not going to land doing this sort of approach. So I didn't know what to do. I just extended the legs, and then I thought, right, I'm going to have to correct this myself, because we are going to hit the deck hard. So I try and power it up to 90 degrees, and start powering too much, using too much fuel, and we used way too much fuel and we're still quite far off the ground. So I tried to do a sneaky suicide burn to no prevail. But once again, we get to keep the engines. So thank you very much for watching, and please do like and subscribe.